so long. We've been here, we've been trying.
Industry. And I fixed that problem. So that's how I ended up there. And for me, I keep telling people that you already know my history before becoming a mother of your children.
About 100, yeah.
Yes. At a point when JD arrived, I had to resign from my last corporate work and stay home. And in staying home, I started listening to entertainment review. I've been doing that for the past 13 years. And in being a panelist on a show, you need to attend some of the events. And in going to events, I realized that no, this was missing. Every time you go to an event, there's chaos. Where do I sit? Who do I talk to? I have this ticket, but I don't know where to go. So I decided, let me fix that chaos. That's how we started.
Fixing chaos?
Yes.
And you found a niche?
Yes.
And the niche is growing and growing. So then, you know, I found it interesting that the global event planning business is about 800 billion now. Scheduled to rise to about 2.2 in about 2.2 trillion. Yeah, almost the size of Apple.
Yeah.
In about 5 years or more. I mean, but less than 10 years. So I'm asking myself, is that something that is outside there, or is possible that even in our Ghanaian market, there's such an opportunity, huge opportunity here?
There is. I keep telling people that people assume that all you do is arrange chairs and tables and drape marquees. But there's more to an event. The funniest thing is sometimes our interns, they come and I think they look at the pictures of the end products and assume that when we go out in the field, we use a magic wand and it happens. So when they come and they realize that, Charlie, it is different. Some you get them staying, some they tell you that I want to do something else.
I ain't cut out for this. I ain't cut out for this. So then what is event management?
It is the calm in the midst of chaos. you need to be that calm in the midst of all the chaos. That as soon as everybody sees your face or sees your company, they know that, okay, everything will be okay. I can sleep knowing that when I wake up, everything is okay.
Everything is okay. I mean, when I was telling someone earlier that when I was a young person, my mother was the ultimate party planner and organizer. And it didn't matter whether it was the end of year party or it was the Pepele party or whatever.
Which is this August.
Which is, yeah. So she's actually organizing in her old age. She's organizing, no, she's not doing the one, she's not the one cooking, but she's still the same. Do we have this? And what about this? And, you know, calling all the shots behind the scenes. So we would stay up the whole night, you know, pounding the palm nut, you know, the corn, getting it ready, getting the tables, the chairs, you know, arranging the place, looking for the record player, you know, to play the music, everything. It was all and it was a hobby, and I found it interesting. I enjoyed doing that. But how did we move? So it's not about how did we move from being a hobby that you do for fun to somewhere that now it is a whole industry and you do have steps in it.
People got tired of the hobby.
Oh, they got tired of it.
And they got tired of the fact that for small enjoyment,
I will sleep during the night, the whole night. No, I'm serious. They will pound the nuts throughout the night. You know, when you finish pounding, you now have to squeeze the thing out. They got tired of it. Okay.
In fact, I for all that I do, because my mom is from Osu, I actually pay my way out. If my aunties are watching, they'll tell you, I'll buy drinks, I'll buy this, just so I won't go through the whole sitting down. And you know, because they use the chile and all that.
Yes.
I been there, done it. Somebody needs to do it. And there are a lot of people who feel like I need to also sit and enjoy the moment too. Yes, our mothers do enjoy the cooking and all that, but our generation, and bear in mind that our mothers, for most of them, it was something they did almost every day. But we have work and all that attached to it. So we started outsourcing that. And that's how come some of us went into full-time work. So for most of the family members, by the time they get to the house, the tables have been done already, the plates are out. You know that when you're done eating, it will be cleared and all that. And that's how we got to work. Small enjoyment. Sit and enjoy it.
Sit and enjoy some more. So then in that case, we move from having a hobby and now we have a full-time workspace. Okay. So then every work has something that makes you unique for it. So then a photographer would need to have a sharp eye for detail. In the same way, a graphic designer would be somebody who should know how to put colors together. What are some of the critical skills that an event planner or somebody who wants to go into event planning should have at the back of his or her mind?
Creativity. People seem to think that it's all about chairs and tables. No, but an event person needs to be very creative. You should walk into this room, and if somebody says, oh, they want to do an intimate event, immediately think, what do I put here? What color schemes will work and all that. If you have zero creativity, you can't thrive in this industry. Like zero creativity, you can't thrive in this industry. Patience. Patience on ice, patience from God, patience from the 12 disciples, patience from Jesus, patience from when he walked into the temple and saw the people. That kind of patience. You need that patience.
You need patience extraordinaire.
Yes.
Why?
And you should be filling that tank every event in excess. You know, like when they finish eating, they finish the wine and there was excess, he fed the 5,000. That kind of patience you should have.
You mean there should be enough That will be more than
yes,
the people that you are serving.
Because you even need to pass some round. That kind of patience. Because we seem to have a funny habit of, as soon as you pay somebody for an event, in your head you think you own the person. So not everybody, but most people, how they talk to you changes. Their relations, how they even talk to you, that they didn't pay, how they talk to you. People come to an event and they have an attitude because you're working at the event. So you need that much patience.
Enough to feed 12,000
Yes.
and more. Okay.
Tolerance.
Tolerance is the third thing.
You need tolerance.
You know, patience and tolerance, they are quite close together. Oh.
You can be patient, but you get to a point where you don't tolerate things, so you walk out of your own events a lot of times.
So you need to be patient, you need to be creative, you need to be patient, and you need to be tolerant as well.
Yes.
Okay. Right.
And you need to have, this patience has to do with watching your business grow.
Okay. All right. All right. So the one is one is related to the in-program
yes.
kind of thing, and then the one is related to the strategic
Yes.
viewpoint. Okay.
Because when we do masterclass, I tell the young ladies and young men lots of time that I think for most of them, when they put budgets together, they assume that they've seen 50,000 at the end of the budget. They are rich. It's not yours. Sometimes you finish and you even owe.
Yeah.
Because you've gone over your budget.
Yeah.
Your business doesn't grow overnight. And especially when it's your own business. So you need to have that patience to see that little bud grow in stages. And I think for a lot of them, they see other companies, because there's so many companies out there, they see the pictures, they see that, and they're wondering, hey, when will I get there? Fortunately, unfortunately, social media is also not helping. So now everything is social media centered. And their oxygen and livelihood is dependent on social media, but they need to have that patience to see that business grow. So it's some of the things I usually tell them.
So then you've talked more of soft skills. Do we have any hard skills that you need to have as well as an event planner? Or
you need to have backup finances.
Backup finances, right. Why backup finances?
You haven't done an event for somebody, they said they will pay you the money after, and then you can't reach
the person disappears into thin air.
And then there are those two that they would, people, and I keep telling folks that now, even with your budget, make sure you take 95% upfront, because there are people who would do weddings and funerals and think that, okay, whatever I am going to make, I'll get, and then it doesn't happen that way. And then yes, it happens. It's realities of our industry.
Are you serious?
Yes. People actually base their budgets on donations. Yes, it does happen. It's reality. And then when it doesn't happen, then they start nitpicking what you did. Oh, you said you bring us 7 flower pots, and you brought us 6.5, or you brought us 7, but one looked like it had tilted a bit, so I'm not paying for it. You said the DJ was going to play, what's the latest song now? Buga. And he played Buga once, so I'm not paying the DJ. Funny things like that. So in going into this industry, please, even though it won't be always, you learn as you go, please have backup finance. So that especially rental companies will not be knocking on your doors telling you that they didn't ask you to go and do events.
It's not easy. It's not easy. It's not easy. Because, I've because of Springboard, we do these things, and sometimes, man, don't remind me. Okay, so then we'd have the patience both for the event, the patience also to see the organization grow over time.
creativity.
We've looked at creativity. Now tell me, what is the most creative event that you have ever been to? What made it wow?
It's my own event.
Oh yeah, right. But you tell me about it.
We had to transform, and when I say this with all the grace, you know how our beaches are.
Very beautiful. It's extremely beautiful.
And you know how we threw.
Oh, it makes it. It's all arts to the beauty of the beach. When you see the wood, the plantain peels, the plastic, as well as some things that we don't want to mention on air, all mixing together in the beach.
And we had to transform it to look like Hawaii for a wedding vow.
Wow.
Yeah. And the person had just bought that section, but was still a work in progress, but was gracious to give it to the couple to do their event there.
That's lovely.
And this is like, the groom was my friend. He still is my friend. He's more like a brother. He said, I didn't know anybody who would have the patience to follow me to this place to look at it and not hit me with a budget that I won't have a life after my event. Meanwhile, my wife-to-be also has all sorts of ideas for this place.
Yeah.
So I said, there's only one person.
Oh, poor
Let's
girl.
go. So I went with him. We looked at the place and I said, I'm up for this challenge. And it went down as the wedding of the year.
Wow.
I've seen a lot of, especially folks outside, who say they want same thing, and I tell them I don't repeat my events. I don't.
You mean it's a one?
I want to give you that experience, so you own that event. Last year we had one for a very dear friend who she's been very open about her battle with breast cancer, and she wanted a party. She said just for party reasons, I want a party. And she's very OCD.
Okay.
So, yes, very OCD. And her husband said, okay, so give me a list of people you want to do this event. And she said,
there's only one
I don't
person.
want a list. I want Whitney. And for me, when she walked into her event and she cried that, this is what I pictured.
Aww.
And it's even better than that.
Aww.
That, for me, was one of the tops for us as well. I have varied experiences with every client. I like to tell them that what I'm doing for you for the rest of your life, when you look at it, you know that this is my event, so I won't repeat it anywhere else for somebody. And I think that's what should make you different from every other person. So, tops of my head, yes. With my cousin, so you didn't mention our event, but I mean, every event is different, but top of my head, these are the two that
stand out for you.
Yes, it does. My wedding day, not so much, so I won't even.
Why? Because you were too busy?
Yes, yes. The next family came and I was serving and they were asking, oh, they're looking for his boss actually. He said, oh, he was talking to me. He said, oh, my son, his boss calls him his. I said, my son is coming to get married and he's on his way. I'm looking for the bride. And when I was there, I said, please.
I am the bride.
I am the bride. So, but, and if soft events, I think recently I've done for your kids, you know, I never do parties at home, ever. But
why?
I think
Why are you depriving us?
because
No. We will have a lawsuit against you. Because, I mean, in this case, we would have to employ our lawyers to come and see.
Since a woman who said I should build a sanctuary, now
Exactly.
it's a sanctuary and
It's a sanctuary, yes, but the sanctuary must be explored, must be enjoyed.
And so I will
Must
do
be
it
shared.
out for you to. So I will do it out, and I think for your boys they've enjoyed. I've given 3 experiences now, and I think now because they in their head the little ones assume that I have so much money, I go around doing parties for people. And I think, no, I actually got to know that my kids assume my work is to throw people parties with my money.
Yeah.
So
why haven't you come to
they were
throw
wondering,
any for me?
You do parties?
No. Why haven't you come to do any for me? No.
I'm surprised I didn't give you that complaint.
No. Let's deal with it now.
Because that is not my, that is not my way. So I actually had to sit them down and tell them that, no, I do not go around just giving freebie parties. People,
Father Christmas.
Yes, people pay
Mother
for,
Christmas.
people pay for that experience. And then guess what?
What?
That your middle one said, so give us that experience.
That's all. So you do it for us.
So I have done 3 so far.
Yeah. No, but you see, the thing is, in my mind, a child is allowed to have a party, and this is a rule, a springboard rule. You are supposed to have a party every year till you are 12. After 12, you don't have, please agree with me, you don't have any other till you are 18. Then the last one is 21. Then after that, you're on your own.
Do you know the wahala you've caused me because they'll be watching?
No, please watch, and please tell mommy when she comes home tonight that every year till they reach 12, you are supposed to get a party experience every year. After 12, you not have another one till 18, and then the next one will be 21. So if you haven't had any so far, now it is your time. Em, are you hearing me? Please make sure that next year, or have we celebrated our birthdays already?
I'm glad you mentioned it because he has had one just recently. He had his in July, so he's.
So let's take M as a client. What will a typical deliverable be for M? I mean, the person comes to you and says that do a party for me or do an event for me. What are the key deliverables? How do you go along it? What are the characteristics?
So usually I like to have a conversation with a person.
Okay.
And whilst you're having the conversation, you need to, in that, however long or short it is, know the person. So you get to know what they like, you get to know what they don't like, you get to know the colors they like, the colors they do not like. And in that moment, you figure out, okay, these are the things the person likes. So how can I put all these elements into what I'm going to do? So for a typical, the first one was a paintball party. And I figured, okay, kids most of the time, what are we saying to them? Do not run, stop it. Half the time, that is our language to them.
So that's why you said no barriers.
Because I kind of got tired of going to same old parties and they're dancing around chairs, then they sit, they're bored, and then they're dancing to songs that I feel is a bit too old, matured for their age. So I saw somebody, fortunately, just because it's my work, you need to, and that is also part of the jobs, you need to have contacts in all sorts of places that normally you wouldn't. And I said, give me an open space. I want a space where when kids run in at 12, when they sit in their cars at 6 p.m., they fall asleep. And I got that.
Fantastic.
And I said, what do kids work with? What are the things we tell them? Don't touch the walls. Don't put colors on the walls. Don't do this. They should come and shoot paintballs. The entire day. And I'm not restricting them to sit and eat. As you're playing, what you go and get a grab. You sit, you go. And all, that was an experience. So you make sure that even the things, when people are doing deliverables, I think most of the time in this country, we assume that everybody eats. So we do not even ask for allergies.
Why should we?
Because we assume everybody is like us.
Exactly. Nobody,
it should even be a part of your ask the client. Are there things I need to know about the people you're inviting? Is somebody allergic to this? Is somebody not into seafood, not into nuts, all that? You need to have a whole list for that. When do you expect me to finish setup? When am I supposed to start setup? The place, am I the one paying? Or you're going to do the payment and then give us the invoice or receipts to
So
go
we
there?
follow up and pick up.
All that, you need to ask all these questions. If this is the job you're doing, make sure that the client does not walk into the event at the time of the event and start panicking.
It happens so.
And then when they panic, you also panic.
Oh, how?
Or you get that sometimes client panic and the person also panics, and then they start crying and saying that the client is screaming at them.
Oh, how?
So all these things you need to know that, have a format for these things. And it shouldn't, you can have some generic ones, but it should vary from client to client. So what I give you, I would not give M. What I give L, I would not give, and it should vary like that. That you should have. You should have first aid kits. Today I'm saying this to a lot of events people. You need to, if you cannot get national ambulance because it's a huge event, you need to have a first aid kit.
On the
On
event.
site.
Yeah.
For some funny reason, every event you get, even if it's not the client, you get staff or somebody, have those things available. COVID has taught us enough. So by now we should all have small care packs that we work with. And I think that for most people, because it is a hobby, they tend to look at it as a hobby. Oh, let me do and go. But we should treat clients like we would want to be treated.
So then if you want us to treat clients like we would want to be treated, start thinking about this for me as we go on a short break. What would be a typical experience be like when the client approaches you to help them have an event? So we'll be right back. We're going for a short commercial break. We'll return shortly.
Get me York's rent-a-car. I need a car in 15 minutes. Hi, I'm Jake Morris, and I travel globally. But when I'm in Ghana, York's Rent-A-Car is my reliable choice for safety and comfort on the road. York's Rent-A-Car provides comprehensive logistics services to mainly blue-chip companies as well as individual clients.
At a time we needed a car rental service, and York's fitted in very well to our standards.
Their services is top-notch. Drivers are on time.
It was beautiful to see them behind the wheels. And anytime they pick up a guest, the guests were very, very happy.
Already? Yes. Excellent. York's Rent-A-Car provides services and expertise that include meet and greet services at the airport, car rental, driver personal outsourcing, and vehicle detailing. What's the problem? It's you. I told you. York's Rent-A-Car delivers world-class service to its customers, having their highest safety and comfort in mind. So watch you. Go over to open for him. York's Rent-A-Car runs 24/7 operations where customers can make car reservations and inquiries of our services online and also call our hotline.
Welcome back. We're talking to Whitney Boakye-Mensah about events planning and organizational skills. And we're looking at what will make an event tick. And just before we went to the break, she was also telling us about how sometimes people do not manage their clients well. So I said, okay, so now she should let us know what is the ideal experience of a client that approaches you and says that, Whitney, I want the event of a lifetime.
First of all, I need you to fill your forms.
How many forms?
It's about 7 pages.
Yes.
Okay. Very detailed 7 pages. And you tell us, they're things that you feel, number of guests, where you want the event, what you want us to, so all this other. Then we have, when you're done filling, there's a portion you sign, you send back to us, we sign. Then we have our first consultation. And most of the time, over the years, we've had to changed strategy because we realized that for most people, when they approach an events person to consult, they've probably approached 7 other events people, and they are not sure what they want. But they are picking ideas from each of the events people, and then by the time you're done giving your all in terms of consultation, an aunt or an uncle appears from nowhere who is also an events person or a friend, and they will take up that role for them. So then they tell you that, oh, unfortunately, they can't use your services. So as part of our strategy as an events industry, before we sit down with you, there's a consulting fee you have to pay now. Because it's just like walking into a doctor's office and you want to see the GP. You just don't go in for free. So we approach it like that. And we realize that when we do it that way, people are serious about what we are doing. And they tend to go all the way through with you, unless something happens and along the way the event won't come off. So when we do that, we meet, we do the consultation, we go through what's the client's vision, what they want. Sometimes some of the things they choose, if you have any advice you can give them, you tell them. Maybe somebody wants to combine red, blue, yellow, and all that. You tell them what likely colors would work for them if they want it. And then if they want certain design, certain vendors you need to bring on board, you do all that for them. Now, then you ask what budget they are working with. We realize that a lot of people do not like answering that question.
Why?
Because for most people, they want to hear what you have to say about the kind of vision they have. But we've stuck to our grounds and we've told people that, listen, it doesn't matter how much money you want to spend or how little you want to spend. In your head, you should know that, okay, I want to go between this and that. That helps us in also making a realistic budget for you of what you can get with the money you want to spend. And that helps a lot. After that, we ask you, how much of it do you want to spend upfront? Because sometimes they will tell you, I have so and so amount, but I want to do the event at this place. That amount can only take sometimes the venue alone is the amount you've mentioned.
Yeah.
So you need to be realistic about your budget. For most people they get people telling them that they will give them certain favors and freebies. That doesn't come to, it does not fall through. So we always, as part of our consulting, we tell you, even though you know this person has promised you this, this, and that, you need to have a backup plan for just in case it doesn't come through. Then you know that, oh, I have made arrangement for this. Then after that, we've sorted budgets and everything. Then you do your deposit towards the event. We start Reiki. We start the vendor consulting. We start sharing the ideas. So now, this is what I want for this event. I want to use this person for my flowers. I want to use this person for my backdrop. I want to use this and all that. Then all that starts coming to play. You realize that for most people, as the vision starts coming to life, they start either adding on.
Oh, come on. But before improve.
Or stepping down.
Oh, because now the budget is hitting the road.
Yes. So it's always either this or that. But a lot of creative events, people like always the up and not the down, because then you have more room to do a lot of things.
Yeah, yeah.
And we always, that's our major prayer, always to have the ones who tell you that the best one is, I don't have a budget. That's the
then you
best.
dream and continue dreaming.
In fact, that one, you get up at 3 a.m. and you're just scribbling. You have like 7 papers on the bed. You're just scribbling. You throw one on your husband, and you just, so he wakes up and there's a pile of shit on him, because you know that you're working with
a good opportunity to dream.
Yes. And then when all that is in play, now they have the people they are working with. We usually do 4 requisites.
Okay.
So the first time is just a bare space. You tell them what can happen there. The second time, when things have been sorted out, you kind of do a mock-up of how things will look for them. And you're paying for the mock-up as well. So that also comes to play. The third time, you're adding on to the mock-up, so you need them to do a rehearsal with the mock-up. And then just before the event, you have one final meeting so that you are aligned with everybody who is playing a role in the event.
Sure.
So if you have an auntie who used to bath for you and wants you to jump a broom because that is what you promised her when you were 2 and you cannot remember, but she's here and we need her to be present because we don't want any surprises. If you want at a point in time to have fireworks in the midst of your event, we need to let you know, okay, some areas you cannot have fireworks. So this is why we cannot do it. Some areas you can have it, but it needs to face a certain direction, and we need you to be okay with it. All that comes to play. So the night before the event, usually I tell clients that the night before I don't want meetings with them because they've built up their own anxiety already.
And they want you to take part in it.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I need you to relax. So I usually have it, like we have an event this weekend. We had our final meeting 3 days ago. And we set things in motion from today.
Yeah.
So usually that's what happens.
I see. So then here we are. What would you do if you've described a process for us? How long does that process usually take?
So for this event we started planning 3 months ago.
So if I come to you this week and say I need an event next week, what happens?
Oh, it's possible. That's why I'm called Olivia Pope. It's possible, but the money too will be very
It is possible.
It is
So what
possible.
happens if you have somebody whose budget is like for the King of England, and in reality, I mean, whose dream is as huge as planning for the World Cup, but in reality, even the Legon
Park is too big.
Park is too big. What do you do?
I like being very honest with people. I think it's my sister says it's a blessing and it's a curse because she sometimes feel like I am too blunt for my own good. But I think we need to let people know because I wouldn't want you to dream that big, have that little, and then expect me to work a miracle that huge. So I tell you, I can do some miracle, but with this budget, this is the miracle. I want you to know that this is the miracle you can get so that we're on the same page.
And nobody gets surprised.
And yes.
Okay. But Whitney, there are so many people, I've done you an injustice, and people are, Whitney Boakye-Mensah says that he's watching us live from Accra, Ghana. And Dede, I hope now your sound is your sound is sorted out. And I have Prince also Chumesi who says that this is a great initiative. Gilbert Osei says that great. And Kinsley Nana Eshifi, thank you for watching. And we have Richmond as well who is also watching. And Ajua, hi. On Sunday, I know you are the one live in the virtual university. I definitely will be looking forward to your program. And then we have Amma Boateng watching. And Belinda Beidou is saying that I'm enjoying the conversation, learning a lot here. And Promise Fiajigbe, how are you doing, Promise? I saw your latest going on. Promise says that I love this show. And we love having you also on the show as well. And Felix, you are watching us, and as well as Lord Zini Denge.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's not easy. So, Whitney, is there anywhere that somebody can go and get trained for event management?
Yeah,
AG.
GIG does courses and event.
I know this is PR, is event management part of it
yes,
as well.
They,
Oh, okay.
they do. I studied that as well.
Okay.
I went back to do a course on that, and then the industry now has like what we do. Let me say what we do.
Yeah, man.
We went to NVTI
Okay.
because we felt that people need to get the required
Right.
certificate.
And knowledge, skills,
Yes.
yeah, built on that.
So we went to NVTI. They accredited us. So
Okay.
we do that master class.
Okay.
We do it 3 times in a year.
Okay.
Second quarter, they will be graduating next month. So
Oh, wow.
we'll do that as well. So
Wow.
hit me up. We have the accreditation. So
So hit Whitney up on social media, and then he'll get in touch.
Yes.
She'll get in touch with you, and if you want to get the skills, and so like, are you in any way planning to do anything like like how they have HR and
yes, that's
chartered or something like that.
That's the vision for
That's the vision.
yes
Okay.
for the school. We are hoping we were planning. We were actually putting a building up, and then COVID hit. And then
Dear old COVID.
yes, and then my dear father also decided that it
It's
was the
fine.
best time to leave this world. So we put that on hold, but they will definitely come back. We are planning on doing something like that, where when you point that, this is a school for purely events, not just events, but the creative industry. There's something like that.
Fantastic, fantastic. Usually, how do you bill your clients? How do they appreciate and pay for the service that you're rendering for them?
This country is by word of mouth.
Okay.
This country is really by word of mouth. And then your network. When they say that your network is your net worth, it is really true. I keep telling people that you should be not strategic, but you should. The people you surround yourself with is very important. So, like you, I'm so thankful that you are my sister. I know I don't come around.
Don't worry. It's normal. We live in a good world, and so if you know that there's somebody there who you can shout out to, that's the most important thing.
So it's very important because yes, people may see your work online, but there are also people who put other people's work online that they have no idea what it. They always, the number of times we've been told that somebody shared your. In fact, this wedding I told you about, we were packing up when we got a call that the wedding you just did, somebody's claiming it with pictures and all. Yes.
How possible?
Yes. So you get people also doing that online and all that. But I always say that your good works, I keep telling people, even likes, people buy likes and all that.
Yeah.
But
true.
we've been able to organically grow 32.3K organic likes.
Fantastic.
Yes.
Fantastic.
For our work page. And so recently I even had to open my private page, make it open. And even that is almost 10,000 followers organically.
Wow.
So I always tell people that your work
We'll speak for you.
will speak for you. It will speak for you. If you're putting in the work,
You definitely.
you definitely will get people saying that yes, she knows her work, she knows her onions, get in touch with her. So that really matters.
Fantastic, fantastic. So then, in as we wrap up this show, I realize that we dealt more with events planning than with organizational skills. But as we put this to bed, what are 4 key things that you'd like people to have at the back of their minds when they either are going to have an event or going to get to someone, a professional like you, and ask the person to help them?
Even for ourselves, I tell people that, it is not a bad thing to have structure, be organized about some things.
Okay.
It is not a bad thing. It is not even a bad thing to have a little bit of OCD.
Okay.
Because it helps shaping your life.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You walk into an office, into a space, and you ask yourself, I mean, sorry to say, but nursery kids even do better. You need some form of structure in your life. If you know that you're coming to work, this is what I have to do. I keep telling people that work is not, you're paid to work. At the end of the day, that's the baseline. You're paid to work, and to work and do it well. So do what you're paid to do and do it well. Give it your 110%. Because somebody has sat down, they've decided the little money they've earned to trust you with that, to give them
An experience.
an experience. Don't fail them.
Don't fail them.
Don't
fail them. You know, we're running away, and then Gilbert sent us a question. Gilbert sent us a question, and Gilbert says that, what steps do you take to handle last minute or unexpected setbacks before and during an event?
Let's say that we are 2 days away from the event.
Yes.
And the client says that, oh, for some reason, we actually have that. We're supposed to have a wedding next week, and her aunt died.
Oh no.
Yeah, her aunt died, so we have to postpone. And postpone, now we don't even know when it will happen till after the funeral. When it happens like that, you know you've given deposits to vendors and all that. So what we usually tell the vendors, in certain cases, you know this is a reality. So you tell the vendors that, well, they should hold on to that. When there's a new date, we just pick up from there. But where you know that this is a prank, it's because they do not want something or you in the last minute. You should have it in your clause where some money is not refundable, so that you can save yourself as well. And the vendors you have, because as soon as you block a date, I keep telling people, when we take your event, especially if it's on a large scale, we don't take any other events for that day, because we want that dedication to your event. So when you also pull out for very flimsy reasons in the last minute, it means that you have made us lose out on
a possible event. So then what if in this case, it's not that the person pulled out, but whilst the event was going on, one of the props fell on the stage?
All our events have insurance.
Okay.
I had to close my eyes and pay to do that, because my arm has been broken before.
At an event?
At an event, twice. So then I realized that, listen, I needed to let clients understand that we work with insurance, so that in case of anything, they know that they are covered. So, and that works for us.
Because, for instance, the biggest I can think about was COVID. When COVID came, and we're still there, then the president said that no more events. And I'm sure that there were so many events lined up in that month. So in that particular case, an unexpected event that nobody could have thought of.
Most of our clients asked for their monies back.
Okay.
For those whose events were closed, the dates were closed and we had done deposits, they understood that there's no all the money they will get back. So what they were able to get, they were okay with it. You need to understand certain things. You need to understand. So
basically, Gilbert, Whitney is saying that it can happen where things do not go well, and when it happens, you must be prepared for that eventuality. Whitney, any final words before you run away?
I always like to tell people, when I say it, people say that it is not true. Success is not sexually transmitted.
I see.
It's been one of my favorite quotes, because I see especially this latter generation that think that at 18 they need to own a Mercedes. at 21, they need to have a house in a certain part of town. And just by close, if you tell them, go and do this, they will do just so they belong in that clique. Success is not an overnight thing, and it is not sexually transmitted. I mean, if success were sexually transmitted, too many people will be clones of other successful people. But you need to put you in, and in genuinely, and in 100% to get that result. And trust that no matter how hard, how long the journey is, I don't want to sound spiritual. I don't want to sound too Christian-y, but there has never been a time, never been a day that when I even think that this is so hard, how are we going to take care of salaries, allowances, and all that, that the God factor does not come through. Lately I keep saying on God.
Because that's all.
Because he sees you put, listen, he won't, and Emoji said this on Sunday when we had Tehila, that God doesn't like the saying, somebody standing somewhere saying that you're a failure. So he won't let you put your 100% in and let somebody say you're a failure.
So put your 100% in.
And no matter how hard, I mean, there are 1,001 tomato sellers in the market, but at the end of every evening, everybody walks home with even one Ghana cedis.
That is very profound. And talking about tomato sellers, thank you so much, Whitney, for coming to share this about event planning with us. On Sunday, we are having Ajwa Agbobroshi herself in the studio. She will tell us all about her journey and some miracles that are about to come her way. Don't miss it. You see Reverend Albert at his finest. So till we come your way again next week with another edition of adding value to yourself. And this time you're looking at the medical end of things. Enjoy a fantastic week. You know we love you and you are blessed. Have a fantastic week. Good night. I love you. Bye-bye. The love.